So yesterday I uploaded this short pretty much showing that we found the Jolly 4 Unreal Engine 4 build, and I kind of wanted to show it off because a lot of people actually can't run it. So I thought I'd kind of give like a little walkthrough, show you everything it has to offer because again, this was lost for so long, but we found it. I say we, I'm pretty sure this was done by Mechless because he was on the original development team, and I'm pretty sure he's just been looking through his old shit lately, and this was something that came up. So on the demo itself, I say demo very lightly. This is more or less just an environment showcase, and that's really about it. There's 4 different levels here, and we'll go through each of them. But the first one here is the first floor of the entertainment facility, I guess. I'm going to also use this opportunity to talk a little bit about the game because I probably know way more about it than I'd like to. So yeah, this is the front desk area. This is right where you walk in every night. So you enter through these doors, and this is the front desk. With this, I guess, showcase here, there's the controls are pretty much how you'd expect. You get a sprint, which is very limited. Also a flashlight, which kind of sucks, but you have some cool reflections, I guess. And one thing I noticed, actually, yesterday when I was making the short was this game actually does support controllers. Like, I'm using a controller here, which is interesting. None of the buttons are bound besides jump, which is interesting, but it's kind of cool that it actually has it. I don't know if that's just Unreal Engine by default or not, but I mean, it's kind of cool. So you have this upstairs area, which isn't really accessible right now. I mean, we can like go into debug and look actually. All right, okay, there we go. So now we're in this free play mode. I just used Unreal Unlocker, I'm not gonna lie, and we'll go back in just a minute, but I want to see if there's anything actually up here. Okay, so no, there is not yet. I'm pretty sure you would actually be able to get up here because, like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that. That's cool. It's not really noticeable, but I kind of just want to take a moment to look at everything that you normally wouldn't see because I think that would be really interesting. You have these monitors here. I think that texture is just default on all of them because you'll see, especially in the office, which I'll show in a minute, there's a ton of these and they all show the same thing. We have these monitors which are just playing a video. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this has been shown off extensively in a lot of the teasing. So one thing I actually didn't notice is that each side of the hallway has for different characters. This is a George's play zone here. Got, you know, this whole play environment kind of thing going on here. Got these cutouts, which, I mean, there's something. The homophobic bird, per usual. Lots of lockers. I don't know how legitimate this was, but there was like an old test version of the script or something like that, where like a super like edgy older version where like you had to hide in a locker and you had to survive by eating a coworker's eyeball. It sounds far-fetched, but it was crazy. We have this playroom here. Lighting sucks ass, and there's like some weird shit going on here. I'm guessing this whole environment was just made in Blender and he just imported it to Unreal. I mean, that's pretty much how I would do it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that he wouldn't just build this straight from Unreal, but I'll go back into the actual game in just a second, but I just kind of want to look here. These doors are not accessible normally, but this side we have Maxi's Cafeteria. You can tell mostly unfinished, you know, the default texturing there. Got some pretty bland looking kitchenware here. Got some table and chairs, not really a whole thing here. I'm guessing this would be like a cafeteria, probably, and this would be where the animatronics would be because this is where they start in this kind of lobby area. I don't know why. But yeah, this is a super basic look at kind of the environment here. You have Adolf Goodtime over here. Dude, that shadow does not that shadow does not work well for him at all. And I think it's just that poster, but I could be wrong. All right, so we're once again back in the, I guess, game here. A lot of these doors aren't actually going to open, but these ones will, and they have the sound effects that you hear, which is cool because it's the same sound effects in the click team version. You can't actually hide in the locker, and, you know, peek right and left, which is cool. Got some weird artifacts with the reflection there. It's interesting. Again, those doors don't really go anywhere right now. But the whole purpose of this build was to showcase it in Unreal Engine to the other developers, because originally, again, this game was made for ClickTeam, but the script was changed quite a bit, like in the early development, and they wanted to try it in Unreal Engine because they thought it would be better for the gameplay. And this is what they came up with. This was made by Ivan. I have no idea how long it took him, but it works really well, honestly. I mean, it's definitely not optimized. I can hear my computer going crazy, but yeah, it doesn't need to. It doesn't have to be game optimized yet. It just has to showcase, you know, what it would look like. Okay, so next up is the Office, the actual Office gameplay here. And again, not much is coded. Like, you can go to the cameras and see stuff, but, you know, other than that, not really a whole hell of a lot here. We can go into free flight mode and see if we can find this area here. Because remember, this is supposed to be above the entrance, like what we saw earlier. I have no idea how, you know, much different this is from the ClickTeam version. I haven't played that in God knows how long. But again, a lot of this is me kind of just like nerding out a bit, because, you know, I heard a lot about what was going on with development. I didn't see any of it, but I heard shit that was happening. And it's kind of cool to see it actually, well, the version of the game that we were told we were never going to get. So obviously the ventilation isn't working yet, and neither is the temperature. That's the camera system. You can have a flashlight, and you get this arm model here, which is cool. Time doesn't really move anywhere. You can flash both sides. There isn't a button to shut the doors yet. I don't know if that was actually a mechanic yet, but it's cool, because normally there'd be a lever here that you would shut the door, but there's not. You can still turn around, shine your flashlight and anything, and what's cool is you can run to the doors and flash around. Kind of don't like how it's kind of awkward, but I'm sure that would be fixed eventually. Navigating still feels a little weird, but I'm sure that would have been fixed eventually. You can't really run to the elevator yet, so I don't think that was programmed yet. But you can run to the doors. Both doors I know work. Oh yeah, I didn't even show you. You can also get under the desk, which I don't remember how to do. Oh yes, okay. So under the desk, same thing as before. I don't think you can hold your breath in this version just yet, but again, you have your flashlight. It doesn't really matter because there's, you know, the lighting is good. But I want to see if there's a way we can possibly take a look around. So this is the hallway, actually. So this is right outside the left door. Got more of these signages here. Yeah. The meeting room area. That's kind of cool. Again, still very bare bones, but the field of view is really low on this, so I can't really get a good look at everything. I forgot what the command was to kill the lighting on Unreal Unlocker, I can't lie. So, until I figure it out, I'm just gonna take a look around like this. Jeez, dude, where am I? Is this outside? Okay, so that's actually inside the right door. Cool. And you have these hallways, which aren't really connected to anything, I don't think, unless they go behind here. Oh, they do. Okay, so this is the server room thing. I looks like a jammer, to be honest, but yeah, a lot of these rooms are kind of dead on the side where the camera is, which is understandable, but it's kind of cool to see stuff you wouldn't normally see. I mean, this whole environment is pretty cool, even if it doesn't really go anywhere. But this is the entirety of the second floor up here, which is supposed to be above the first one. But now I am curious if it actually does show more. Okay, so no, there isn't more to. Well, I mean, there's floor here, I think. So it isn't really a different version. It's the same version that we just walked through, but, you know, the office is right above. Which I don't really know how. Yeah, because if the office is right above the entrance, then like I have really no idea how the layout of this map works. I don't know. I get the impression that really wasn't considered. Yeah, because the elevators are here, but then the front entrance is here. So yeah, so this has to be, you know, above all the way back here because where the elevators are. I don't know if we'll ever get the Unity build for the game, but beyond these doors here, I believe is where the elevator is. So like down here, this area would be the elevator, which you would go and use to get all the way up here. Okay, so next up is the office. This is an environment that was pretty much never shown in the game, but was shown off in some teasers here. So this is the elevator, again, right above the office. So the desk would be right down there. And this was floor 3 of like 7, I want to say. And pretty much you'd come here after the first night to get something from one of the offices here, actually. And I believe it would be Tweety, the homophobic bird, that would be stalking you throughout this whole area here. I'm pretty sure. So you have these main cubicles here. They all pretty much are the same with the monitor, the phase 2 binders here. And on the ends of these, they have one with just a calendar. I don't know. Also, the date is wrong on this because I believe the game takes place in August 2023. So, good 6 years behind. But yeah, these are all just copy and pasted. So again, you know, end cubicle here has the calendar. The rest of them have full computers. You do get your flashlight back again, and you can see on the edge here we have these like film reel things. I don't know. Got some cabinets, keyboards, computers, the works here. Water coolers, that's cool. And then you have on the side of this here, you have, you know, meeting room. More of the same stuff that we have seen before. On the entrance here, you have more offices. I believe you enter these like server rooms, I guess. Or lockers to hide in, because again, Tweety would be kind of wandering the area and you just have to wait it out. Some cool art here. I mean, not really cool. I don't know why you'd frame an abandoned building, but I don't know what this is supposed to be, if this is the J3 building or not, but obviously on the side here, it's kind of barren, not really much. Can't really go in here. I mean, that's just the void. There's just nothing there. More meeting rooms, I'm guessing. This leads back to the main area here, so you can get through the sides. Coming around the back here, leads up to another area. I'm not sure if this necessarily counts as the 4th floor. Probably not, but just like the 3rd and a half floor, I guess. Desk chair. This is like a reception area. I'm pretty sure there was another part of the game, a separate part of the game, like after night 2 or 3. You come up here to this part specifically, because I know you come back to the office at some point to grab something, and I believe there's a section with Maxie up here. I think this is night 2. After night 2, you'd come back up here, and I believe it was something with like a blind character. I'm sure it was Maxie, but like again, this is the version, by the way, that was detailed in the script that got leaked. I haven't read the script in ages. I read it once in its entirety, like when it got released, and I just remember just thinking, yeah, a lot of these guys were in over their heads. There's no way this was finished. More meeting rooms. Not really anything interesting here. Again, it's the same thing we just saw before. But yeah, very, very barren. All right, going into free flight mode, I guess here. You can kind of get a little better look at everything. So this is the office area from above. Kind of something. I can't lie, look at this. All of the cubicles just copy and pasted. Very nice. Up here, again, it's just made to look like there's actual shit up here. More cubicles, you know, a cubicle with a view. So probably like upper management or something. This just leads back to this area that we saw, which connects to the other areas around. So not really much here. Again, more cubicles, more stuff like that. Little area above. Again, more office space here. I'm not sure which room specifically you'd have to go in and find shit. Probably on one of the side rooms or something in the cubicles. Because I know there you do have to make your way into the middle for something at some point on the post night after night 1, which you're instructed to do so because if you're not aware, you play as Theo, the guy on the phone in Jolly 3. So you have to come back. Your whole goal is you're pissed off because the Jolly 3 protagonist was killed, and you're coming back to get evidence on them in a different building. So you're trying to find dirt on Jolly, pretty much. That's the whole gist of the game. And you're trying to find something, I believe, on Kevin Johnson's computer, which I don't know where his office would be, but it would be on one of these on the side, I'm guessing. Probably not a cubicle. But yeah, you'd have Jolly, or you'd have someone stalking you. I'm pretty sure it was Tweety, if I remember. Also, what's cool is these, like, tickers on the side here. I think these are made-up trades. I mean, you can see LBM, which is the fake company here. I guess, like, fake industrial company that's responsible for Jolly, which is kind of cool. So, you know, maybe this is like an accounting place. Who knows? Not sure why you'd have a bunch of tickers on the side here. I mean, but it's interesting nonetheless. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is all. I mean, the stocks here are all Jolly related in some way. And finally, all right, we have the Jolly 3 environment. So in the game, you do come back to the Jolly 3 place, I believe, in person. Like, as it's complicated. You do for sure during the nightmare sections of the game, which, if you don't know, at the end of each night, you can either go home or you can go to find dirt on Jolly Entertainment. So you either choose to go home and live a nightmare segment, kind of like this, where you'd be in the Jolly 3 environment, or you can go find dirt, which would be the office. Either way, you'd come back here. I'm not sure if you come back here at the end of the game. I know in one of the routes you do go on the cargo ship that was where Jolly 2 happened, but there's nothing on that yet because that was really far into the game. The whole Jolly 3 environment, I'm pretty sure was just imported from a Blender model because this looks... It just looks a little too, I guess, accurate, unless this whole thing was built from scratch, in which case is really, really good. But I do know they're also planning on, I don't know how official this was, planning on remaking every game. So I'm sure this was just something they had to do eventually. Anyway, this is the office. Working lever with sound effects, but, you know, no gas comes out just yet. Or ever, I don't know. It's kind of interesting just to see just a giant lever poking out of the middle of the round. Just a cable going to some random outlet that isn't on the other side. You know, it's whatever. Working lights, nothing on the other side, but no sound effects yet. But again, this whole environment was mostly made for the trailer, so I don't know if this would look exactly like it would be in the actual game. You have these posters here, which are cool. This one's my favorite, actually, because this is like the most Jolly poster ever. Anyway, this is the main area here, this like octagon room thing. You have both sides which lead roughly to where we know before. Again, just barren hallways here. You do also get your flashlight. So this is backlinked towards the office, and this is, you know, where the office is, where the light shines in. Oh, so we can actually, like, so this is the office. We can go behind the office here, so this is where that door is. This also leads to the other side here. Yeah, it does. Okay. So this is the other side. We can go our way back through here. See, it's pretty much the exact same as the other side, just... Oh, there's vents here. That's new. And we lead back out here. Okay. So you'll notice there's a Jolly head here. This was actually programmed for the trailer, so if I walk closer here, you get this shot here. Which is, you know, coincidentally in the trailer. This Jolly head, which does look pretty good. Albeit kinda sad. Anyway, we have this area back here. I'm not really sure what this was in the main game, to be honest. But there is the Crusher back there. I think that's what it was called. So you can actually go to the crusher area right back here. Now, obviously, there is no spikes here yet. But this is the conveyor that you were strapped down to in the game. There isn't really a whole lot back here, just the shelving. I'm pretty sure that is the majority of the Jolly 3 area. You know, there isn't really a whole lot else to do here. Oh yeah, look at that. Kind of cool. I'm not sure if this is in Jolly 3, if this was made for Jolly 4, but these are cool. And that's the Unreal Engine version of Jolly 4. Not really a whole lot here, but it is really cool to see some of the environments in new angles and new ways that we would never have seen otherwise. I'm sure if we find more, or if there's more versions that get found, I will probably make something else on it, but I kind of wanted to show this off because not a lot of people can actually run this because it's so heavily unoptimized. If you want to try it for yourself, I'll leave a link to the Discord server where it is linked to download for free for anyone. But yeah. I don't see this version ever being finished, by the way, because it's just one, you know, not optimized. Two, no one wants to do that. But yeah, just wanted to show everything off here.